Ready?
Mm-hmm.
So we got to do our top 5 list.
Yeah, I'm working on mine.
Ma! Be quiet, Ma! We're trying to make a video! Ma, the meatloaf! The meatloaf! I never know what she's doing. What is she doing in there? It doesn't make any sense. Hi, welcome back to the J&J Theater. I'm Jason.
I'm Ann.
And we're J&J, and we're here to talk to you about the top 5 movies of the year so far. We just finished up June. We're halfway through the year. It's 4th of July weekend, so hopefully you're all having a great 4th of July out there.
Thank you to all those who served our country.
Absolutely. So we want to do a quick video and talk a little bit about what we thought our top 5 movies of the year were so far into the year. It's a new YouTube channel, as you all are aware, and we don't see any point in going back and reviewing old movies, but we can still talk about them. So let's start by giving you the top 5 grossing movies of the year so far. So the number 1 grossing movie gross so far of the year is Captain America with $257 million grossed.
Cha-ching.
It's a lot. And I think it's probably still in some theater somewhere. The next movie is one from earlier in the year, maybe some of you have forgotten about, but it's the Lego Movie.
Everything is awesome.
Everything is cool. And the Lego Movie comes in with $257 million as well. It's out on DVD. If you haven't, go pick it up. Do yourself a favor. Third on the list is X-Men, $225 million. Fourth on the list is, I don't know that it's a huge surprise, but maybe a name that not everybody knows, but Maleficent from Disney, $209 million. Still in some theaters out there.
I thought it was good.
It's not a bad movie. If you haven't seen it, go take a look. And then the 5th on the list, going back to the comic books, is The Amazing Spider-Man 2, and that comes in at $200 million.
Whew.
Those are the top 5 grossing, all over $200 million so far for the year. Now, I do want to point out in 9th place is Transformers at $148 million, which just opened last week. So there's a good chance that Transformers is going to find its way into the top 5 before this thing is all said and done. And we've still got some big summer blockbusters to come. We've got my most anticipated movie of the summer, Guardians of the Galaxy.
That should be good.
So we're anticipating it to be in the top 5, but it's not so far. So let's talk a little bit about our top 5 movies. We don't care about how much money they made here. We care about how much enjoyment and entertainment they brought to us. So you want to give us number 5 on your list?
My number 5 is Captain America.
That's interesting. I would venture to say that's probably low on most people's list.
Probably, but it was my number 5. I do love Chris Evans. I think he's a perfect Captain America, and the elevator scene fight was my favorite.
Right. Well, I have Captain America on my list. It's not at 5. I won't give away where it is, but we'll get to it soon. Do you think this Captain America was better than the first one?
Yeah, I do, actually. At first, when at the end of the show, I didn't think it was, but looking back and then going back and watching the first one, I do think it was better than the first.
Where does it fit into the Marvel universe of movies for you?
I don't know. I'm a Thor lover, so Thor will always go first.
So if you watched our other video, you know that Anne ranks movies based on Tyrese. Or Chris Hemsworth as well. So it's less about the movie quality and more about how good the male lead looks, apparently. So my number 5 movie on the list is actually the second highest grossing movie of the year so far, but it's the Lego Movie.
Everything is awesome!
I can tell you guys, if you, as an adult, were avoiding this movie, you shouldn't. It is fantastic. It was really great movie to watch, and it was a huge surprise, I thought.
Yeah, I thought it was really good until it got to the whole feel-good daddy scene, so that's why it didn't make my list.
Oh, it didn't make your list because it had a point?
Yeah, I've got daddy issues, so it doesn't work.
Nice. Okay. What about, I'll go with number 4 on my list. Number 4, sticking with the cartoons for me, actually How to Train Your Dragon 2. I thought How to Train Your Dragon 1 is maybe one of the best animated movies I've seen in the last 5-10 years. It's right up there with Toy Story. And if you know anything about me, you know I love me some Toy Story. So I was a little concerned going into a sequel that it wasn't going to perform.
Agreed.
But How to Train Your Dragon 2 definitely hits on all cylinders, makes you feel a little something, has some comedy parts, and good action. I thought it was a great movie.
Yeah, it was very good, and I loved how they added all the new dragons and the new actors and the storyline. That was actually my number 3 on the list. But my number 4 was 22 Jump Street. I thought it was hilarious.
Funny movie.
Yeah, talk about another sequel that was better than the first one. Actually, all my 3 through 5 was all sequels that I thought were better than the first one. So that was my number 4.
And 22 Jump Street didn't make my list. Not sure why. I just, there are 5 movies that I thought were better, but 22 Jump Street, another great movie. Jonah Hill just seems to be hitting on all cylinders. I mean, the guy hasn't missed. He was actually in How to Train Your Dragon too, also.
Yeah, he was, and it came out the same weekend, and he's a talented dude.
Yeah, and so another great movie. If you love the first one, you'll love the second one even more, and you should definitely put it high on your list of movies to go see.
Definitely. So number 3, mine was How to Train Your Dragon, like I said. What was yours?
And my number 3 was Godzilla.
Godzilla!
Godzilla. Godzilla, another great movie. I know it's on your list as well, so why don't we talk about it when we get to your part.
Okay.
Let's move on to number 2. What's your number 2?
Number 2 was X-Men. I'm a huge X-Men fan.
And I agree. Number 2...
That was your number 2 also?
No.
Oh.
It was not. Number 2 for me is actually probably a big surprise, and a movie that not a lot of people have seen because it's somewhere down around 30th on the gross for the year, and that's Edge of Tomorrow, Tom Cruise's new movie. If you haven't seen it,
Emily Blunt.
Yep, and Emily Blunt. If you haven't seen it, you need to go see it. This is a great movie. Probably going to end up being the biggest surprise hit of the year from my perspective. The one movie that you weren't anticipating it to be great, and it turned out to be really great. So, great movie. I recommend it for everybody to go see that one. X-Men didn't make my list.
Why?
I just, I didn't think it was a good movie, but it's the one movie that I consistently forget about when we talk about summer movies.
I loved it. I thought it was so good, and I don't know. I love all X-Men movies. Every X-Men movie they've made, I've loved. I do have to say Halle Berry has ruined Storm for me, though. Forever.
Excellent. And she was in this one.
Yeah. Not very long, though. Thank God.
All right, so...
Number 1!
Number one for both of us has already been on the list, each other's list, so why don't you give us what your number 1 is? Godzilla. Fantastic movie. I had it 3 on my list. It could have been 1. Another great movie. I will say, just a quick synopsis. Bryan Cranston is maybe the best actor around.
He's awesome.
He when he is in this movie, he makes Kick-Ass
look awful.
Look like a horrible actor. And then when he's gone, you're missing the rest of the movie.
But then Kick-Ass is like his acting just goes up.
Right. Yeah.
But even Godzilla, I mean, like the way they made him look, it was so good. And the only thing I didn't really get was the fire being blue. I guess because of the radioactive stuff, it wasn't fire. But I mean, when we saw it, people were like standing up and cheering. Like it was just awesome.
Yep. Yeah, Godzilla, great movie. Another movie, again, if you haven't seen it, you definitely need to go see it. I know there was some complaints about Godzilla not showing up till later in the movie, but I thought they did a great job in a movie, and something that I think Michael Bay could take some lessons from. If you haven't, go check out our Transformers review. But they did a good job of actually building up characters. You felt for Bryan Cranston, you felt for Kick-Ass, and you really wanted these characters to survive and make it through. The non-Olsen twin sister, lacked some. So, but my number 1, we've already talked about a lot. Captain America. I'm assuming it's on everybody's number 1. And at least in everybody's top 5. It was a great movie. Marvel proving that they can continue to make it happen, continue to get creative and do things differently. So Captain America makes my list at number 1.
Yeah.
So hopefully you enjoyed our list. Tell us in the comments what you think. Tell us what your top 5 are. Subscribe to our videos below. We're going to have more videos coming to you. Let us know what you think, and we look forward to seeing you in the future. Thanks.
Bye.
See ya.